Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Hello guys, my name is Jordan Modell. It's currently February 22nd, about 5 months since I started my sketchbook project, and I'm going to show you guys the progress that I've made in that time by recreating one of my first sketches. So, let's put some ink on the paper, should be cool. Alright, today we will be recreating entry 9, Dinky Sam. We're gonna aim to make the pose a little more dynamic, maybe get some more perspective going on, while the scratchy kind of chaotic shading here, it lends itself to the type of chaotic drawing that this is. We're gonna clean it up a little bit this time and hopefully get something that looks a little bit more like it was straight out of a comic book. For these drawings, I use Muji pens, but before we do anything, let's take some reference photos, shall we? I've got a little slab of latex here from a monster project. We're gonna pretend this is the guy that Sam's ripping apart here. I kind of want he's like ripping him upwards. Oh, I like that, kind of like a lean into it. Hopefully there's something usable there and I don't just look like a crazy person, which is also very possible, but we'll see. So we got our references and our poses up on the monitor. Let me just adjust right here. I kind of like the idea that one of his shoulders is kind of back a little more. Iconic tree on his head plays kind of an interesting compositional role in this character. Kind of like a jester's hat. Like, he can be weird, he can be crazy. We're not in any sort of box here. My dad was like, if you decided today that you were going to be a bass player again, you would just drop everything and then be like a really good bass player. He's like, oh, because now you're doing the drawing. And before you were doing the music, and then it was the film, and then the whatever. But I kind of realized that drawing was the thing I had at the very beginning. Before I ever learned anything or took an interest in anything, I was drawing, and I guess somewhere along the way I felt like being good at drawing wasn't enough for me. Like, it wasn't impressive enough, or it wasn't elaborate enough, so I abandoned drawing for something greater, film. And along the way I did bass and guitar and music production, and I was Renmo for a bit, and then I stopped being Renmo, and then I made 2 short films, and then I was a puppeteer, and I've done a million different things, right? But at the very core of all of that, I was a drawer, you know? Like, that was where the spark started. And I think it was like my pride or something that prevented me from doing drawing, because it felt like the easiest out of all of those things. But I'm realizing now that it wasn't that drawing was the easiest. It's the simplest. And I started out with it very early, but I never really nurtured it. I never really put in the effort for it to not be the easy thing anymore. And my drawings were never as elaborate as they could have been. So now that I'm drawing again, I don't feel like I'm doing the easy thing anymore. I feel like I'm doing the thing that I'm actually good at, not just something I took interest in and worked really hard to succeed at. I'm doing the thing that I am meant to be doing from the start. Wait, I like your Discord profile picture, AJ. Why is it like it's like Scream, but there's like a cat? How'd you make it like Scream?
So we're just gonna pull up our drawings here. You can see the real difference now side by side here. First off, we got the leg up here. Now this is really important because it's giving him kind of an edge that he's standing above and then he's looking down. So you see his eye line is kind of down, while this guy over here, it's right about in the middle. So because we're not making eye contact, we're not at the same level as him, he's looking down on us, which is giving us the impression that he's some sort of godlike figure. And clearly I was trying to accomplish the same thing, but the lack of an interesting angle and perspective diminished the intention of the character as a whole. So this guy over here is some sort of Punisher figure, kind of reminiscent of Goya's black paintings like Saturn Devouring a Sun, which is a huge inspiration to me. And you could see here just how kind of scratchy and sporadic the shading is, while here it's a lot more smoother, well thought out. This is just a technical improvement over time. Also the way that the jaw is shaped around the top here. On this side over here, it's kind of flat.
Besides the technical improvements like the shading or the line work, the true difference is achieved in the composition and the pose. It's still the same character with the same features, but being more intentional on how he's positioned on the page plays a huge role in visual storytelling and establishing who the character is. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm still learning, so if you're interested in seeing more progress videos or you're into the same type of art, feel free to stick around and maybe we'll learn something together. Bye!